So today we're going to start out on this page here and we're going to draw, we're going to start drawing some things in pen and ink. So we got our Pilot Precise pen, but we're also going to use in your pencils, you should see one that says, actually, these are the three pencils that you got. You got a 2B, a 2H, and an HB. I actually want you to use the 2H pencil. So dig through and find out the 2H. Put these off to the side. The 2H is perfect for putting under pen and ink because it is a lighter pencil. It makes a lighter mark. And so if we want to make a mark that we can erase, it's great to use the 2H pencil. Okay, it's a little bit harder of a lead, or it's actually graphite. And when we draw with we're going to start drawing with our pencil, and then we're going to ink on top of it. And when we draw with our pencil, we want to put really light pressure on it. Okay, and we're going to start by just drawing some fruit and vegetables kind of thing. And so with your 2H pencil, up on the top right, actually, let's make a little grid here so we can kind of lay out our space. So I'm just going to go right horizontal across the middle of the paper, make a light line, just horizontal, and then vertical down the middle. And I didn't even make mine straight. Don't worry about rulers or any stuff like that. Just across and down. Now I have 4 sections that I can draw 4 different things in. And we're going to start off with, I think, an easier fruit to start with. But we're going to be drawing all sorts of fruit. And to me, an easier fruit is actually either a pear or an avocado. They kind of have that same shape. Here is one kind of drawn here. Okay, and the way I like to draw a pear or an avocado, we're going to just call it an avocado, okay, because it's not going to be as curvy as like a pear, is I like to make a loose, small circle up here. Can you see I'm just going round and round and round? I'm not putting very much pressure on my pencil. I'm going to zoom in so you can see it better. Okay, so that is light enough that when I erase, it'll fully erase. So I just went round and round and round and round. And then I leave a little space and I do a little bit bigger circle. And sometimes I like to sketch this one first. So sketching is where you kind of just make short little marks until it adds up. And then I can kind of go round and round and round. Notice I'm kind of making mistakes here, and that's okay. That's part of the process of making, of drawing, is lots of mistakes. You have to be okay with that. Okay. So we're getting a snowman look here. We don't want a snowman. We're going to make a avocado. And so I'm just going to follow this outline here. And then I'm just going to go in a little bit and then back out and follow one of the lines of this circle here that I think looks good, that would make this avocado shape. Just following and going back up. Okay, and again, draw light. I am drawing a little bit darker just so it'll show up on camera, but the lighter the better. Okay, now you're going to look at that and go, something's not quite right. Okay, and for me, the thing that's not quite right is like the space in between is too big, or maybe it's a little bit too sharp of a curve right here. Everybody's drawing is going to need a little bit of adjustment. So what I'm going to do for my drawing is I'm going to make this a little bit wider here and a little less so far in. But you might have to put something different on your drawing. Maybe yours isn't round enough. Maybe the bottom needs to be bigger. Like sometimes you can come out here. Maybe there's too sharp of a corner. So I want you to just adjust the shape for a minute. Moving on for our avocado. One thing that is helpful is if you look at pictures of an avocado. So if you go to the internet, and let me go over there. If you just type in avocado, okay, and you click on images, you're going to be able to see some images. You're going to be able to see the shape and the form of an avocado. These are all cut avocados, but like this picture right here gives us a great idea of how the shape is, the edges of it. Now, we're not trying to cut one, and this is onto its side, but it still gives you an idea. Same with these. You can still see the circle and the circle. So sometimes when I'm drawing something, if I don't have it in person, there's a different shaped avocado. But if I don't have it in person, just Googling the image is really, really helpful. There's an avocado we can draw from. Okay. I meant to bring in an avocado today. I had it on my counter and it's still at home. So yeah, but you can do this if you don't have an avocado at home. Now that I've looked at it, I go, oh, this is definitely way too skinny there, and maybe even a little too tall. So maybe I need to cap it off right there. So these are the kind of things that as you go along in your drawing, you'll kind of notice. And you'll get better at. So I'm going to now ink the edge of my avocado. Okay, so I'm going to go in with my ink and do my best work choosing which line I want to be the edge of my avocado. Go ahead and do that. So I have this bump here, and I just want to fix it a little bit by putting another little line right there. And hopefully as I keep drawing over it, I will, that'll kind of just fade away. The other thing I noticed about the avocado was it had a little area right here. Now I'm doing this in pen. If you'd like to do it in pencil first and then do it in pen, that is totally fine. But as you draw more and more with ink, you'll just go right to the ink because it's quicker. It is not a circle. Okay, if you'll notice, I didn't draw a circle like this. It's not a perfect circle. What I did is I kind of went with these dashed lines and drew a very shallow U, and then more dashed lines and drew with another shallow U. That's because we're looking at the side of the avocado. We're not looking straight down on top of that there. But you will get more and more good at drawing avocados because we're going to draw a few of them. Okay, then we need some dots. So let's put in some dots. Don't bang your pen down, just nicely touch down some dots. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to put more dots around the edge. So there should be dots that are getting closer and closer around one edge, I should say. Maybe make it the right edge, although you could do both edges. It is a rounded form, so basically less dots in the middle. Okay, and all the way up here you're doing some dots, because remember when we just looked on the internet, I noticed that there were bumps on this avocado, right? And I don't know how many of you eat avocados. Some probably love them, some probably hate them. I know my children are not a fan, but I eat one a couple times a week. So I'm putting more dots towards the top around here. Notice they're really little right now. And more dots around the edge. Still some dots in the middle. Okay? And I want to let the ink there dry just for a minute. Okay, so you can kind of test it a little bit with your finger, but you want to just dry. Maybe you blow on it just a little bit. It should dry pretty quickly. And then you want to go in and erase your pencil. We're done with our pencil guidelines. So just going to go in, and I didn't wait long enough. Do you see what happened? Bad teacher. Look at that. Miss O did not wait long enough. Okay, try it again. Ah! Are you getting this too? Are you guys getting this? Are you getting smears? Yeah, my dots were smearing more than my lines. And so that's fine. Actually, I can work with that in my drawing. But I just need to be more patient and let it dry just a little bit longer. But that's fine. Okay. Now, the next thing we want to do is we're going to add some curved hatching to the sketch. So remember, we've got some hatching, kind of like contour hatching to this sketch to give it that rounded form. So this might be scary, but you're going to take it, and from the edges, you're going to draw these lines, and you're just going to kind of, they're kind of curved, so they kind of go down and up. And when I let go, I kind of flick my pencil a little bit so it gets a little bit thinner. And some of them are long and some of them are short. Don't make them all the same size. And I'm going to go all the way around the side. And the spacing too. Some of them have more spaces, some of them are closer together. And I'm going to do the right side. So start at the edge, whichever edge you're at. Kind of a little curved. And after you get up to the top, go back and add a few more. Okay, and these contour lines really give it some form, some roundness. Notice I didn't do any in the middle. We're going to do small little, what they call scumbling around the dots. So if I have a dot, I'm just going to show you here with a dot. Dot right there. I'll make it a little bit bigger. Scumbling is kind of like a little scribble, kind of like the scribbles that we did last page here. But little, like a little worm. So I'm just going to start with my pen on the dot and kind of go something like that, or like just something different each time. So there'll be a dot and then a little scribble on top. Dot, a little scribble on top. Very little. Okay? So it makes these dots a little bit more irregular. So they're not just, and make it a different mark every time. Just a little scribble. You can go right in to the this area too. Okay? So this is technically that scribble mark. Some call it scumbling. But yes, artist scribble. And you kind of lift up your pen at the end to get a little bit of variety of line width. I mean, you could take a lot of time doing this. This is definitely something that the more time you take, the slower you go, the better it'll look. And while we're sitting here drawing, I want to say, as you are going about your day, if you have any fruits and vegetables that you see, I want you to start looking at them. What textures do they have? What shapes are they made out of? Remember, we made this avocado out of two circles. Okay, so what shapes are they made out of? Are they made out of triangles? Are they made out of squares? Probably not. Maybe they're cone-like, conical. Maybe they're spherical. Maybe they are a whole bunch of, like grapes is a whole bunch of little spheres, right? So the carrot is a very long cone, right? Trying to think other fruits and vegetables. Banana is a very unique shape, right? Same with like broccoli and cauliflower. The best thing about drawing fruits and vegetables, just like hands, is that they are organic. They're organic shaped. And so long as you get it about the right shape, people will know what it is. Okay. Now, if I colored this red or orange, people would be like, what? That's probably a pear, because there are red and orange pears. If I colored this blue, people would be like, that artist is off the mark. But because I can color it the same color as the avocado, people are going to know it's an avocado. Okay? So the next way to add to this illusion, I think I do want a little bit more hatching or contour lines, and I'm going to choose a light source. So just for this demo, I'm going to have my light source be up here. I'm just putting a little dot, maybe pretend it's the sun, just a little, okay? Because this is just our practices. So the sun is directly opposite the light source, or I'm sorry, the light source is directly opposite the shadow. So I'm just going to scribble a shadow, and it's going to be under here, and it's going to kind of go off to the right because my shadow or my light source is on the left here. So you can see I'm just scribbling, and as it goes out here, it definitely is underneath here. It's pretty dark, so I'm doing a little bit more scribbling, and then there's be a little bit more space in your scribble out here. And I want to kind of make it look a little rounded, a little bit like an avocado. Notice I am not doing any outlining. I'm just scribbling. So that's kind of like a side view of a avocado. But shadows are not perfect. Shadows are just kind of like that. And then, so since this is my right side, on the right side of the actual avocado, I'm going to put a few more contour lines to make that a little bit darker. And you could put some shorter ones in and then a few longer ones. But I think those shorter ones will really help. And that will help disguise my little boo-boo right here too. So I'm just making these a little bit heavier on the right side because that's the shadow side. I'm not really going to go over in class a lot of shading forms, although I will say that I'm starting to make videos about forms for my Art 1 class, and those are actually on my YouTube channel. So I started a YouTube channel just so that I could put all my videos in one place for all my classes and not have them just hang out on my computer, so that they could be up in the cloud. So when you click on a video, it's going to take you to my YouTube channel, and if you want to look at shading in forms, I do have videos on that. I just have started to teach that in Art 1, so I'm starting to add videos to that as well. Okay, so there is our avocado so far, right? Since we haven't worked with our colored pencils in class yet, I want to show you something about this wonderful pack of colored pencils. So when you open it, if you open it from the top, you keep this all snapped in here, and you can just flip that back behind the colored pencils and snap it again, just the top part, and now they sit up like that and they are ready to go. Kind of cool, right? So we are going to do our avocado, and what I notice about the avocado, the colors, is that it is green, so I'm going to find my dark green, but it also kind of has an undertone of brown, so I'm going to find my brown. So this is my dark green and my brown. Okay, so I have my green and I have my brown, and most people who are beginners would start with the green. But I'm going to start with the brown, and I want you to start with the brown. So what I'm going to do with my colored pencil, I'm going to use the side of it. So I'm not using the tip. I'm not putting it down like this. I'm using the side. And I want to generally cover it with brown. Okay, so you can see I'm trying to make a really, I'm not doing this. That is not what I'm doing. What I'm doing is this. Do you see the difference? Okay, light pressure using the side. Okay, and I'm going across the entire thing with a light layer of colored pencil. Even getting in here in the pen and ink, the dark side of the avocado. That could be a song. I'm kind of goofy today. Sorry guys if that bugs you. Okay. Now I'm going to go in with a second layer of brown, still on brown. And this time I'm going to go mostly where I have these contour line hatches. So a second layer. Again, I'm not going like that. That's a no-no. I'm going like this. So I'm just pushing a little bit harder, not a lot harder. And going to the top, going around the edge. Going down towards the bottom. At the bottom, I can kind of make this a little bit more brown right in this area here. Colored pencils are designed to layer. That is their job. Their job is not designed to be put in on one layer. They work best if you use multiple layers, so that's what we're doing. We did one layer all over, and then we did a darker layer around the edge and towards the bottom. Then we're going to go to our green, and we're going to fill in, and we're going to make it avocado colored. Now, using this side of my pencil, this is a dark green. I can still see my brown through the green. I'm really filling in a lot of the middle, but I am going to go on the edges and fill some in. Okay, and then what I might choose to do is go back with the brown over some of these dots. Don't make a round dot like this. Just kind of scribble over some of the dots. Kind of vary your scribbliness. your scribble mark. And this will give it like a little bit more bumpy texture. Going in and adding those details. Avocado? Avocado, maybe? Question mark? Yes. Yes. Starting to look like an avocado. All right. All right, so your homework today is going to be to draw a Bartlett pear from an image that I have for you on Canvas. And so I want you to draw it using pen and ink, right? You can start with your pencil. You can draw the shapes, okay? And then make sure that you draw it with all the little details and putting in the colored pencil. Remember to draw the stem, the angle that it's sitting, and the shadow. So let me show you this pear. So here is your homework to draw this specific Bartlett pear. All the details, including the color, right? The stem up here, and all the little dashes and dots that you see, and even that shadow down below. Okay, so this is in your module for today, your pen and ink practice Bartlett pear. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.